Hey, Buffyverse and Angel fans, I'm officially a few episodes into season 2 of Angel, and I just have to say that they are amping this up several notches. Much like the Buffy flagship show, season 1 really had to take its time, like establishing the world, establishing the characters, their dynamics. We lost the series regular like halfway through the show. We had to kind of reestablish a new group dynamic. There was a lot going on. We also had crossovers with Buffy flagship show, season 4, and it was just a lot. It was a lot to kind of lay the groundwork for in season 1. But now that they are going cuckoo bananas in season 2. And I'm going to talk about it. Specifically, the first 3 episodes I'm going to try to cover in this video. I know that's a lot. This is going to be a long video, but I would rather give it to you all now than make you wait any more than I've already made you all wait. For those of you who have been following my journey, hi, I'm Keitra. I'm watching Buffy and Angel for the first time and talking about all my thoughts and feelings for both shows at the same time. It's crazy, but I've amassed quite a backlog of notes because I was sick for a few weeks and I couldn't record videos. So now I'm catching up. So thank you all for your patience with me. First episode of season 2 of Angel is called Judgment. So let's talk about it. This first episode introduces one of my favorite characters of all time, and I refer to him as Gay Karaoke Demon. Now, I'm sure he has a name. I have not learned it because to me, he's Gay Karaoke Demon, and I thought this was just going to be a one-off gag, and it has become clear to me that he's recurring. He's recurring, and it gets funnier and funnier as the show goes on, and I'm obsessed with this bit. I'm obsessed with this, like, karaoke bar for demons and monsters where they, like, have to sing a song for them to get information, and it's just, like, this unlikely kind of friendship dynamic Angel has with Gay Karaoke Demon, and there's just much to say there. Much to say. One of my favorite new additions to this season. And at the beginning of this episode, it was really funny because we have Angel and Co. sweeping into a gym of all places to save the day, which felt really out of place in a really funny way. I love that this show hasn't lost its humor. It's one of my favorite things about it, is the humor. It takes itself seriously, but at the same time, it doesn't take itself seriously. And that's my favorite line to ride, you know? Angel being like, and I quote, 3 things I do not do. Tan, date, and sing in public. Well, we'll see about that, Angel. Now, for the central plot of this episode, the actress who's involved with this, like, demon slaying in the alleyway, I recognize from a show called One Day at a Time. I don't know if any of you guys watched that show a couple years back, but I've never seen her, like, at this age or stage in her career, so this is really cool to see her, like, from so long ago. I was annoyed because I'm like, girl, you can't, I wrote this here. I said, girl, you can't be crying over this dead demon. You didn't say anything when they were fighting. Like, speak up. Speak up, woman. Also, Gunn is a series regular. He's full on in the title sequence. So earlier when I was like, oh, he's recurring, my bad. He is a series regular. He's going to be in every episode. And you know what? I love that for him. Because like I said before, he has a really interesting dynamic. And he doesn't, like, live with them and work with them day to day, but he's there enough to help and add a little something new, a little something extra. Look, I could get into the plot of this episode. I don't find it super important. I have a lot of other things to talk about. I will say that I wrote a note here that Angel is low-key a guardian angel. I'm just saying he is. And there was a point in this episode that felt like a video game because the demons kept spawning, and I was like, this feels... They should have made an Angel or a Buffy video game. I'm sure they did, actually. Actually, am I misremembering that there's, like, a Buffy, like, Xbox game or something from forever ago? Maybe I'm making that up. I don't know. But I really love that Cordelia had to step in and, like, reassure Angel about their friendship. Again, the dynamic we continue to build with these two is delicious. It's such a good friendship. I love it. Angel doing karaoke fried me, y'all. That was so funny. Like, anytime they let this actor be funny, it's a wrap. Like, he delights me completely. And I wrote this here. I was like, Angel's out here jousting in the middle of downtown LA. What is this, medieval times? Like, it was so dramatic. I was like, now he's jousting and then he's sword fighting. I'm like, why the hell not? Sure, we'll do whatever we want. It's season 2, right? A really cool moment that I mentioned in an earlier video talking about the Faith arc, that we see Angel visiting Faith in prison in this episode, which is cool because we have Faith like sharing her bad day, and he goes, I wrote this down, I had to sing Barry Manilow, which I thought was hilarious. It's cool that they have like kind of a strong dynamic still. I'm curious to see where they're going to take this with Faith, because it felt like her arc was over, question mark, but nothing's ever over in these shows, right? And I said he truly just adopts people and wayward creatures and says, here, you're mine, I'm going to protect you. And I love that. Favorite part of the episode, the karaoke outtakes at the end. Premium, 10 out of 10. So episode 2, Are You Now or Have You Ever Been, was written by Tim Minear. And as someone who is an avid 911 watcher, which is the current show that Tim Minear show runs and writes for, I have noticed patterns in his writing, specifically how he writes for Angel now that I've noticed which episodes he's written. There's usually a through line. He is really great with the flashbacks, okay? But it's normally the fuck-ass flashbacks that I don't like from ages past, right? The ones with Darla, which we'll get to. This one's different, though. This is the 1950s. So at the beginning of the episode, we have Angel sort of having Cordelia and Wesley investigate this abandoned hotel called the Hyperion Hotel, and we get thrown into like the 1950s flashback of Angel staying at this hotel, which seems haunted as fuck because there's like a mass murder there or something crazy. But it's a very different version of Angel than we're used to seeing. He is super reclusive. He doesn't want to talk or speak to anyone. He's kind of aggressive, low-key. And he sort of gets confronted by this woman who needs help getting away from like her, what seems to be like her abusive husband or whatever. And he is like threatening. He's threatening. He's a little scary. Sort of takes care of it reluctantly. And of course she falls for him because, you know, who wouldn't? Then we get thrust into this insane plot line where this woman apparently stole a briefcase of money because she got laid off or fired from her job because they found out she was mixed race because she's white passing, but she's not actually like white, and it's like early 50s. So the racism and prejudice is running rampant, and Angel has this weird, like, he relates to her in some way because of prejudice. It's a bit odd. I won't lie. But you get these crazy, like, insights into what or how Angel was thinking at the time and sort of, like, his journey as a character, and I do like that. Even though the plotline, I'm like, okay, like, maybe let's not compare what Angel's going through to racism, but okay, I get what they're going for. I do. There is an insane shot in this episode that I have to highlight, and I'm reading it so I don't get it wrong, but, like, the shot cuts back from the flashback of Angel, and then Wesley and Cordelia walking in, and then they cut back to present day Angel. It was really cool camera work. I was like, okay, you guys, pop off with that. That was awesome. And then Judy turns on Angel, and they lynch him in the middle of this hotel. They full on hang him from the chandelier or whatever. That was very hard to watch. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, you know he's okay, but, like, it's not until he waits for everyone to leave and then he, like, unhangs himself and walks away just fine, but he still has, like, a rope burn around his neck. I was like, this is a lot. Then for some reason we have, like, a tentacle demon in a cloak, and there's, like, tentacle sound effects, and it's very weird and gross. And at the end, we have Judy as an old woman, and, like, Angel visiting her, and, like, there's, like, this deathbed forgiveness, and, oh, that's another thing. That's another thing Tim Minear loves to write, is a deathbed apology forgiveness arc. He does this all the time. He's really good at it. So I can't say I'm surprised that that's how this episode ended. So episode 3, titled First Impressions, is a wild episode. And we have them moving into this old abandoned hotel as their new kind of base, which I love personally. They randomly have David Nabbit as, like, their financial advisor, for sure. Why not? I guess. I don't know. I guess he's recurring. And one of the funniest lines I've heard on this show to date was calling Wesley and Cordelia C-3PO and stick figure Barbie. Nothing will ever top that. That is so funny and so accurate. But, like, we're getting these really weird erotic dreams that Angel's having about Darla with Darla, and they're, like, kissing, and it's weird, and it's getting increasingly more sexual, and it kind of feels odd because you're like, is she taking advantage of him? Does he like and want this? Is this consensual? It's very hard to tell. Buffyverse is not great with consent when it comes to men. I don't understand. It's an ongoing problem with both Buffy and Angel, whatever. I'm gonna move past it for a second. I hate Darla. I hate her so much. She continues to get so annoying in this season because I've already watched a few episodes past this point and I'm like, I swear to God, if they do not solve the Darla problem by the end of season 2, I'm gonna be pissed. Then we have Cordelia getting visions that Gunn is in danger. There's like something with Angel's car getting stolen. It's all a big mess. Wesley goes to wake up Angel to tell him what's going on, and Angel's like stuck between Dreamland with Darla and like Wesley and ends up naked, pinning Wesley down, choking him. Right. That was funny. It was funny. It was not funny for Wesley. What was funny is that Wesley then gets him back after that by forcing him to wear that pink helmet on the back of his motorcycle. Got him. Side note, Wesley calling Angel a wanker, wearing a leather jacket, driving that motorcycle, being like, you wear the pink helmet and get on the back of my motorcycle, Angel. Period. I wrote a note here saying supernatural as shit happening with the fact that his car is a vintage 67 Plymouth. A 67? Kripke, I'm in your fucking walls. What do you mean in Supernatural you made the car a 67 Chevy Impala? And Angel's car was a 67 Plymouth. I'm on to y'all. Then, you know, we have Cordelia walking into this party being the only white person there and immediately sticking her foot in her mouth multiple times, talking about being a working girl. She can't shut up. I'm like, girl, please stop talking. Cordelia, my love, I need you to be silent. Do not say another word, please, for the love of God. Then some crazy shenanigans go down at this party. There's a crazy fight. There's glass in the neck. It's wild and crazy. We move on from that. Cordelia ends up telling Gunn that the actual danger to Gunn's life is not an external force, but really he is a danger to himself. And I just want to say, I want you to mark my words right here and now. I think they are setting up Gunn and Cordelia to be a romantic pairing. Or at least a like, will they, won't they, or at least something will happen between the two of them at some point that's romantic. I'm calling it right now. My last notes for this episode involve Darla because it feels so predatory and gross. Like, I wrote here, I said, why is she talking like a porn star? Like, this is pissing me off. Like, I hate her so much. So, put a pin in that one because there's way more Darla coming up. Anyways, you guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.